everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. Today's video is gonna be one of several that you'll be seeing coming up. It is gonna be a drugstore reviews, first impressions kind of video. There have just been some really cool drugstore products coming out lately, especially complexion products. I have like 3 foundations that I desperately wanted to try, and I can only put one on my face at a time, so you'll get one today, and then there are 2 more coming that I'm really excited about. So trying out some newer things at the drugstore. Some are new, some are not so new. Some I have shown you on my channel, some I haven't. Some sections we'll skip over because I didn't have anything super exciting to talk about. It's just gonna be a little casual, get ready with me, testing out some drugstore stuff that I'm really excited about that I hope is as good as it sounds. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. Before I move into it, please do make sure that you are subscribed to my channel if you haven't done that yet. That would be so appreciated by me. You can also ring the bell so that you can be notified when I upload a video on Fridays. Also, you can follow me on social media if you feel so inclined. My handle will be popping up right here below me so you can check me out. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm just playing some music today, really casually. I'm trying to pin my hair back, but I don't know. Very cute. Loving my hairstyle right now. Okay, we're gonna start with the eyes. I just have a very simple thing for the eyes, not super exciting. These are, well, it's just one product. It is exciting. This is something I get excited about. These are eyeshadow sticks from Wet n Wild. I've never tried these before. I don't think these are brand new. Not quite sure. I think they're new-ish for sure. I had never seen them before, and they had this, like, I think it's their summer collection themed called like Fantasy Makers, and they came out with some shades in that packaging, so it's kind of different packaging, but they do have these, a regular line of these, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I just saw these in my Walmart and I was like, these are some cool colors. I really wanna try them out and see if they're any good. So I've swatched them, so the packaging is kind of messy because it's just this clear lid, and anyway, a whole time. But I'm gonna try one on my eyes. I'll swatch the 2 shades that I picked up. I just picked up some kind of neutral ones. You guys know me. They seem so blendable. I'm excited about that. Okay, so here are the 2 shades I picked up. This one on this side, the cooler toned one, is called Artist Pass. And then that reddish bronzy one is called Come Down. Don't really know. Maybe it has something to do with the theme of the summer collection. I'm not really sure. It might be like a collab with like a property called Fantasy Makers, because it has like a logo of FM right there on the front. So I'm not sure. I don't really know what that is. But anyway, it was a cute collection. Had some very interesting stuff in there. So I don't know. This is like a pretty deep shade. I'm filming in some daylight today, and my skin has been having a whole time. We've just been really living our best breakout life. I think I'm gonna go with the cooler toned one. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Okay, this is gonna be the shade Come Down. So let me make sure. I'm not gonna prime my eyes because usually these are supposed to, shadow sticks tend to be really long wearing and stuff. So I wanted to just test them without a primer at first. If they, you know, crease, I might try them with the primer to see, but I do prefer to use these shadow sticks as like a base or something like that. So I'm just gonna draw it on. That's not the shade that I meant to do. The shade Artist Pass. Yeah, like that just kind of nude, cool toned, neutrally taupe color. I like that. These are actually really creamy. I can actually just kind of tap them out with my fingers for sure. So I'm gonna do that. These are much creamier. They're not a super stiff formula like some sticks are. See, that's a really nice one kind of color eyeshadow look. I'm gonna do a little bit more. They kind of blend out like a lot. They're like kind of sheerer, I think. Well, this shade specifically is. The other one might not be as sheer, but it could just be that this is such a neutral, nude kind of color. Maybe I'll go ahead and draw on the other eye and kind of let it set down for a bit, for a good minute, to see how it sets down. Because you have like a ton of work time with these as far as I can tell. Okay, I think I'll just take a quick brush and run it over the edges. These are like pretty sheer. I'm gonna let this dry down for a minute. Let me go ahead and curl my lashes while I'm kind of letting these to dry. Okay. I don't know how I feel about these. I guess I'll have to see how long it takes them to set down. These are just so creamy, and they blend out to be very, very, very sheer. And I kind of prefer my stick eyeshadows to be like nice and pigmented to where I can just swipe them and blend them out and not have to layer them up like 100 times like I feel like I've had to with this one. Yeah, I just feel like they just rub off too easily and they still haven't set down, so I just don't know how that's gonna work out. But I do think it needs a little bit of like a deeper cool tone brown at the lash line to just kind of anchor it, because it's so just kind of one note, but it's a little bit darker, so I think it just needs a little bit of something. So I'm gonna add this liner. This is the Almay All Day Intense Gel Eyeliner, and this is the shade Deep Chestnut. Now I do quite like these. I have a lot of shades of them. They have some really pretty shades. And when I'm just kind of messily smudging, sometimes I'll just start smudging by using my finger. Just like that. Yeah, just to add a little definition at the lash line, I like that. All right, so I've just kind of smudged that cool tone brown liner there on my lash line. I think that looks really nice with this look. So let's put on some mascara. I do have a new mascara here, newish, I guess. This is the L'Oreal Bambi mascara, which is not new, but this is the oversized eye version of this mascara. It has Bambi on it, isn't it so cute? Ooh, it looks cool in the camera. It is like that bright blue, but I don't think I realized that in the light it has like that metallic neon shift. Wow. Anyway, this is different from the original Bambi eye mascara, which I didn't personally love. Wasn't enough drama for me, and it was kind of flaky. But I wanted to give this one a shot because the wand is a little different. So it's a rubberized wand. It's spiky, but it does get a little wider towards the bottom, like that nice cone shape. I have put this on a couple times and I like the effect it gives. I'm still kind of formulating my full thoughts on it because of the first time I wore it, the way it wore was kind of flaky, but I think I kind of applied it weird because I was just kind of getting used to it. The second time it wore a little better, so I'm still just kind of testing out how it wears. So we're gonna apply this and get it on our eyelid. Yeah. See, it gives like quite a bit of volume right away. So I like that, and it builds up nicely, so. Okay, I'm gonna apply this and it will be, actually, I'm gonna apply this, go ahead and do my brows because I don't have anything super exciting for my brows. I am gonna use some drugstore products for my brows though, for sure. I'm mainly gonna be using my NYX brow products, so my NYX Tinted Brow Mascara, NYX Control Freak Clear Brow Gel, and a NYX brow pencil. So that's what I'm gonna use, but you know, it's not anything new or super special. So I'm just gonna apply those things and then we'll be back. Alrighty, so I have my brows on. I've finished my eyes. See, it gives you some pretty intense eyelashes. I'm just kind of still feeling out how it wears. I'm still getting used to it, so we'll see. But I do like the effect it gives for sure. So that's the L'Oreal Bambi Oversized Eye Mascara. The eyeshadow sticks, as I was doing my mascara and brows, I could see it creasing, so I kept having to tap it out, and so that's gonna be a no-go for me, definitely by itself. I will retry it with a primer underneath and we'll see how that goes. But so far, there's better out there. And I literally just posted my favorite single eyeshadows, including eyeshadow sticks, so you can go check out that video and see all the ones that are really, really good. So you can check out that video. For foundation, we've got an exciting product. This is brand new from Maybelline. This is, so they have the Instant Age Rewind line, and they just came out with the Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup. So this is like a glowy version of their Age Rewind foundation. It's also meant to be a lot more light coverage and thinner. So I was really excited about it. Their Age Rewind concealer is like a cult classic. Everybody loves it. It was a little bit too drying for me, as well as the original Age Rewind foundation was, but really excited about this glowy one. Now, I hate this kind of packaging, so what I do is I pull it off. And I just use the little tubies and put it onto a palette, back of my hand, whatever, and use it that way. I just find it to be a lot easier. And also, these the little spongies, and where'd it go? There it is. The little sponges on the end soak up so much of the product and you just don't get to use all the product in this. And so I just feel like it's a little bit of an easier process for me and also less messy. But if you wanted to keep it on and sponge it onto your face that way, it's totally personal preference. But this is what I prefer to do with all products that come in this type of packaging. I have concealers that I do the same thing to. It's just something I do. So I have the shade 01 Light. So I'm just gonna, and it's a little, so I'm gonna do that onto my palette. We'll go with that much for now. I'm gonna start out applying it with a brush as I usually do. It's kind of, as you can see, it's not running in any way. It's pretty thick in consistency. But yeah, so I'm just gonna apply this with a brush to start out. I have put a little bit of primer on, my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is just a very usual primer I use, and also my skin is just a whole mess today, so we need to conceal some of these inflamed pores. So I'm gonna work some of this onto my brush. Oh, okay, so it actually spreads really, really nicely on the face. And yes, it's very light coverage. If you're just guessing what your shade would be, it's probably gonna be pretty easy because this is a pretty sheer product and this light shade could work across quite a few skin tones. Okay, wow, this is like really glowy, which, you know, to be expected. It's called the Instant Age Rewind Instant Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup. Primes, conceals, highlights an even skin tone with light coverage, the built-in sponge, self-adjusting shades that blend into skin tones. So they're supposed to be self-adjusting, which I would kind of agree with. I'd say it blends really well with my skin. Well, okay, I'd say yes, it has a very sheer light coverage to it. I'm gonna try to build it up just to kind of see how this product works, what's the potential in it, kind of a thing. Take some on my sponge. This is the EcoTools biodegradable sponge. I don't know if I've talked about this on my channel, but it's like the best sponge I've ever used from the drugstore. And I've tried pretty much all of them, and this is definitely the best one I've ever tried. So soft and squishy. I love it, love it, love it. Would definitely recommend. I'd say we've got like a nice light coverage here now. It's built up okay. I do really like that. I think my skin looks really nice. I will say it looks dewy, but it doesn't feel as wet as it looks on the skin. It's not like crazy sticky like some dewy foundations are. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna leave it there. I think that's probably about as much as it's gonna build. So I thought this concealer would be a good combo with this. This is also new. This is from Covergirl. This is the Outlast Extreme Wear Concealer. So it is a long wear concealer, so that usually I like to pair like a more matte long wear concealer with something that's glowy and dewy just to balance it out. You don't wanna do crazy dewy wetness on crazy dewy wetness, and then it's just kind of a slippery mess. So it comes in a little squeezy tube. I have tried this out a couple times, and usually concealers that come in a little squeezy tube are very like thick in consistency, but this one's actually not. And I like to apply it with a brush at first to kind of apply it. So I have like a really small little dot right there. I'm gonna work it into my concealer brush. And this is the shade 820 Creamy Natural, by the way. And I'm gonna start applying that under my eyes. I just start with a very, very, very small amount. But I have really been enjoying this concealer. I like that it's a bit thinner in consistency and it spreads like really nicely. It's full coverage, very full coverage. So those things for me, even though it's a more matte finish, give it a really nice quality because it's not gonna be some crazy thick, cakey type of concealer, but it spreads and adds that coverage really, really evenly. So I'm kind of using that to spot conceal on some of my bigger breakouts. And it doesn't look so matte that it looks unrealistic. I think it kind of gives like a natural skin satin kind of finish. For bronzer, we have a really, really, really exciting release. These are from e.l.f. and these are the Putty Bronzers. This is a cream bronzer from e.l.f. You guys already know, I'm sure. And if you don't, you can go watch my full face of e.l.f. video I did a little while ago about the e.l.f. Putty blushes that came out earlier this year. And I did a video all about all the new e.l.f. releases, including that, and they are incredible. They're amazing. And they came out with bronzers. So I have 3 shades of these. This has a really, really excellent shade range for a bronzer, and especially for cream bronzers at the drugstore, which are non-existent actually. My favorite cream bronzers from the drugstore are actually not bronzers. They are complexion products usually. My clip is coming out. So this is really exciting. I have 3 shades here, and one is like a contour shade. So that's really cool. But they came out with a really, really excellent shade range in this. And the one complaint I have about these so far is that these are the same size as the blushes. I wish that they were a little bit bigger. I wish that they had a little bit more product in them, just because you use more bronzer on your face than you do blush, because bronzer goes the whole perimeter of your face. Blush is just concentrated right there on your cheeks, kind of a thing. So I wish that these were a little bit bigger, but that's just me, my personal opinion. But also, it'll take you a minute to go through these, and also they're $6, so it's not like a big deal if you run through it. So here are the 3 shades I have. All the way over here on this end is obviously the contour shade called Feeling Shady, which is a little gray. I prefer it to have a little bit more of a bronzer tone to it, but just kind of on the cooler side. But you know, we'll see. And it also looks a little pale in the way that I like for the contours to not have a ton of base pigment to them, so that they're just a little bit more sheer, so they just add shadow. This one I can tell has quite a bit of white base pigment in it, so it means it's gonna be a little ashy on some people. They do have other contour shades. The other one is like quite deep, so that's nice, but I would prefer if it didn't have such a base pigment to it, so it would be more flexible across shade ranges. Not shade ranges, skin tones. Good Lord, this is a hard sentence. But then I have 2 bronzer shades. In the middle, this is the shade Tan Lines, which is a nice light bronze, a little bit warm. These are pretty warm bronzer shades in general. They're not crazy warm, they just look really warm next to this contour shade. But this is the shade Tan Lines, and then this is the shade Honey Drip. So Tan Lines is the second lightest shade this is the lightest shade, second lightest shade, and third lightest shade listed in the shade range. So this is Tan Lines. It's a nice light warm bronze, and then over here on this end we have the shade Honey Drip, which is a little bit deeper of a bronze and a little bit more neutral in my opinion. First, I'm gonna attempt to put this contour shade on. We're gonna see how it goes. I'm just gonna take my e.l.f. stipple brush, tap into this contour called Feeling Shady. I'm gonna do something to that truck that won't stop backing up. It's not too bad. Again, I still stand by what I said, that I think it has too much white in it. So it looks a little too light on me, but also it means that it's not gonna work on pretty much anybody who's even a little bit deeper than me. Not my favorite contour, but not the worst either. If you are fairer than me, I think this would work pretty well for you actually. It's added a little bit of shadow, a decent amount I'd say. Looks okay, okay. Let's add the warmth, y'all. Let's go in. I'm gonna start out with the lighter shade Tan Lines and just build it up to see where we can get it to, and then to deepen it, I'll go in with the third lightest shade Honey Drip. I have tried these before. This isn't my first time dipping into them. I've only tried them like one other time maybe. So I'm gonna dip into Tan Lines. My experience with these is they're really, really, really nice. They are pretty sheer, so I'm glad that I did pick up that deeper shade. I think they have a really nice finish to them. They're just like the Putty blushes. They do dry down to like a matte, almost powder finish, but they're not drying in any way. And they have a really nice texture, very, very blendable, very easy to use. I think these would be really great for literally anybody who wants to try cream bronzer if you're not super familiar with it. This would be a great one for you to try because one, they're super affordable and available. They're $6. And they're really, really easy to use. You just tap a little brush in and go to town. So I have applied my bronzer. I finished off my eyes. I forgot that I hadn't put anything on my lower lash line. So I just tossed a little bit of that multi-stick down there and a little bit of mascara. Man, this eyeshadow stick is creasing like crazy. I'm gonna just happen to tap it out like every 2 seconds. So definitely gonna have to try that with the primer and see how it goes. But that's the bronzer applied. It is gorgeous. It is, I mean, truly, I don't know that there's another like actual drugstore cream bronzer product really. I think Wet n Wild might have an old stick product, not anything super notable. So, okay, let's put on some blush. So I have these from Burt's Bees. These are the Color Nurture Cream Blush. Ooh. So I have 2 shades. They only came out with 3 shades, but these were the only 2 shades I could find in store at my Walmart. But I have the shades Guava Meringue and Strawberry Cream. And they're both pretty pink. One's just a lighter pink and one's a deeper pink. And the other shade I think was like a berry, which I would actually really like to find. But either way, I'm just gonna pretend that that truck is not there. I'm driving me crazy. Either way, they're all pretty pink toned. I really, really like this formula though. I just wish that they would come out with some shades that were not just pink, maybe some warm tone shades, I don't know. But I'll swatch them for you. They are very similar texture to the e.l.f. Putty blushes, but not quite as solid as those are, and they're a little bit thicker in texture because those are like really, really thin. But it kind of a similar concept in a pot, a pretty solid cream, but just a smidgen different in texture. But yes, this is a really, really nice formula. I've worn it maybe 1 or 2 times, not a ton. So here are the 2 shades. As you can see, they're pretty similar in the fact that they're both kind of lighter, cooler toned pinks. Strawberry Cream is a little bit warmer. So this one's Strawberry Cream and this one is Guava Meringue. Guava Meringue is a little bit too light and chalky kind of a tone for me. I quite like the Strawberry Cream color though. So I think that's what I'm gonna apply today. But the formula is really nice. I just would like to see some more colors. But if you're a little bit fairer than I am, as you can see, this like almost barely shows up on my skin. I had to apply quite a bit for it to show up like this. Then I think it would look really nice on fairer skin tones, but just not so much on mine. And these really, really light, cool toned pinks are not necessarily my favorite blush tones, but I do like this Strawberry Cream one. So I'm gonna apply that. They're really, really easy to apply, so I'm just gonna take my blush brush and tap it into the pot, and I'll take the cap and use the cap to kind of blend the product into the bristles of the brush and tap it off so that we don't get too much product. So I'm just gonna apply that with my brush. Really nice. It's a really pretty formula. I just would like some more shades in it. I don't think I'm gonna apply I don't have a new highlighter or anything, but my skin is pretty glowy, so I'm not gonna apply a highlighter. I'm just gonna kind of leave it how it is. Okay, so that is the blush. But if you like those kind of cool, fresh pinks, if that just fits your undertones better, and if that is just your color, I definitely would recommend picking these up at your local Walmart, CVS. I think those are the places I always see Burt's Bees at the most. Their makeup at the very least, for sure. Yeah, so that's the blush. They're really, really nice. Would definitely recommend picking those up. I am gonna powder a little bit. I've been trying to find a powder at the drugstore that I like because the powders that I actually do like are a little bit more expensive. So I've been trying to find one that's a nice formula for a good price. And I have been trying out the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder in the shade Light. There are quite a few shades of this. But I've been trying this out and I'm still kind of gathering my thoughts, but I am just gonna apply a little bit since we do have quite a dewy base. I've been applying powder more often lately just because it's summertime. Helps your makeup last longer in the summer when you're sweating a lot, and I am a sweaty gal for sure. And I always melt it in with a setting spray, so we end up with it still being really, really glowy. But this does just help my makeup last a little bit longer. So I like this powder so far. I've heard really good things about it, so that's why I thought maybe I'd test it out. Looks nice so far. That's almost everything. I'm just gonna do some lips. Oh, I did bring out a product to talk about. Let me zoom it back in. My foot is fully asleep at this point. That's cool. So I brought out these products to talk about with you guys. These are from Loreal. They're not crazy new. I've had them for a little bit, but I just feel like I haven't seen anybody talk about them. And they don't actually have the name of the product on the tubes at all. They literally just say L'Oreal Paris and they have the shade name on the top. So I'm gonna have to pull it up to find out. So it is there's two formulas. As you can see here, they are different in the tube. So this one right here is called the Brilliant Signature Shiny Lip Stains. And they are a glossy finish, and you can see they have this gradient on them. And these are the Rouge Signature Lightweight Matte Lip Stains. So they're both lip stains, just one is glossy, one is matte. And these are so good. They're so good, you guys. I just have some nudes here. These are the only two colors I have in the shiny, but I have like 3 more colors in this. I have some reds and some deeper colors that are just really, really nice. But these shiny ones are very, 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 if not almost the exact same as the Lancome L'Absolu lacquers. Now, that is a discontinued product from Lancome, which truly breaks my heart. But I used to love that product, and I don't have them anymore because they were pretty old and kind of got expired, and then they discontinued them, which is upsetting. But they were just like this. They give a very glossy finish, and they stain the lips and give you just this nice long wearing stain that is just really beautiful. And the texture of them was so unique and special. They just felt so like cooling and kind of gel-like on the lips, but they don't ever look sticky or stringy on the lips. They look very smooth and very like line filling of your lips. And this is the same formula. It's the same. It's the same, I swear. So I have 2 shades here. Kind of tilt it so you can see the actual shade. Right here, this really, really nude sheer one is the shade 301B Determined. And then the little bit deeper shade, the nude pink shade, is called 300B Uncontrollable. So then I'll swatch these other 2 matte ones. But these all do leave a really nice stain. They don't just stain like some hot pink dumb color or whatever. They do actually stain the actual color of the lip. And they last so well. They look so beautiful on the lips. Even the matte ones just look gorgeous on the lips. So here are the 2 matte ones that I brought out here for you. So this pinky nude one is the shade 416 I Create. And this deeper like brown kind of brick shade that I love is 428 I Explore. Now there are a lot of shades of both of these formulas, so I would highly recommend checking them out. They're so beautiful and long wearing. I'm gonna quickly wipe them off my hand. The shiny ones have already stained my hand, as you can see right there. I think I wanna wear one of the shiny ones today. Oh, I did want to go ahead and spray my face. This is kind of new, I guess. This is from Physicians Formula. This is the Essence of Healthy Toner and Setting Spray, so you can also use it as a toner. But it comes in this nice glass bottle. None of that hit my face. My fan is going and it's like blowing all the setting spray away. But yeah, that's a really nice setting spray. I've been really enjoying that. It's a really nice mist on it. I've been really enjoying it. It's a glass bottle. It's really nice for the drugstore for sure. So kind of still testing out if it actually like makes your makeup last longer or not. That is still to be determined. But let me line my lips really quick. This is the L'Oreal Color Riche Anti-Feathering Lip Liner in the shade Toffee 2B. It's just a nice warm nude brown shade. Nothing crazy, but this is a really nice formula. All right, so there's a little bit of lip liner on. I think I am gonna throw the shiny shade on. I'm gonna do the shade 300B Uncontrollable. Now, these do have a little bit of shimmer in the actual formula, but it's not visible on the lips really. It just makes you look a little bit more glossy. Let me show you. So what I really like about these is they're really buildable. So you can do one very thin sheer layer and it'll just give you barely some color, but you can layer them up a couple times and it looks gorgeous. So there it is, built up about 3 times. Man, I love it. So good. I don't know if it matches this eye look. I think it's a little too warm. I think I might have to do the matte one that's a little bit more cool toned. I like it. I love this lip color so much, but it's a little too warm. Let's retry that. I'm gonna put on this shade 416 I Create in the matte version. Yes, okay. That color definitely looks better with this makeup look. It's a little bit more cool toned. I will say, I don't think I mentioned a lot about the matte formula. It is very, very, very thin, so it doesn't feel like super drying or anything. It honestly doesn't really feel like there's anything on my lips at all. I'd say the glossy version feels a little bit heavier on the lips just because it is glossy. You can definitely feel it a bit more, but this one, you cannot feel it at all. And you can see it's still a little shiny because I just put it on. It's still drying down, but it will dry down matte, but it's not like this crazy liquid paint kind of dry down matte. It just looks gorgeous. I just really like the effect that it gives on the lips, and it's just so thin and so comfortable to wear. So that's the lip. Gorgeous. So that is all the things for today. This is a whole face of some drugstore makeup. Some new stuff, some things that I had never tried before, some things that I had tried before, but they are new and I wanted to tell you guys about them. Some really exciting stuff. I am super in love with my base makeup today. I just love how natural and glowy and very like skin-like that it looks. I don't think it's too overly glowy, and I think that's because we had that nice balance of the more matte, long-wearing concealer mixed with a glowier base. I really am obsessed with those bronzers. I think that it is a gorgeous, gorgeous formula, and you should definitely try them out. I also love the blushes. I hate the eyeshadow sticks. Honestly, the more that I've been wearing them, the longer that they've been on my eyes, the more I hate them. They have worn off a ton. There's barely any left right around where my eyelids crease, and they were just creasing up a storm the whole time. So I'm gonna go ahead and say would not recommend. There's just better out there. So you can definitely check out my recent single eyeshadow video to find out some better ones, and there's even some there from the drugstore that are better. So those are not great, but everything else pretty much was great. I still am undetermined on my feelings with this mascara, so we'll kind of have to see how it wears, and I'll update you on the mascaras that I've been really liking from the drugstore sometime soon. I think in my next video, I might update you on how I feel about this one and show you one that I've really been liking. So that's kind of where we're at. Love these lip colors. They are excellent. You should really go pick some up. They are just gorgeous, and the way that they wear is just like phenomenal and just really, really like luxury high-end level of a formula in both of the formulas of this shiny and matte lip stains from L'Oreal. So really beautiful, but I love the overall look for my skin today. It's just really, really nice and simple. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you're excited about all the new drugstore things that I'm gonna be trying out now and coming up. The new things at the drugstore have just been really, really intriguing me lately. So I'm excited to continue to test these out with you and keep you updated about how these go. Let me know if there's anything in this video that I mentioned today that you've already tried, things that you love, things that maybe you didn't love, but if you've tried them, please let me know. And also let me know if you've spotted any new things at the drugstore that you would wanna see me try out and hear my thoughts on. So you guys can let me know those things down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.